It's the 2-Point Conversion Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
With your host, TFA.
Yeah, baby.
Only on the MBL Network.
Network.
Hey MBL, welcome to another episode of TFA's 2-Point Conversion. I'm your host, TFA. This week we're going to start off with our weekly review. First thing I'd like to do in this week's review is say farewell to longtime owner and league punching bag Tot. Tot had to step away from Madden earlier this week, and MBL would really like to wish him the best luck on his future endeavors. That being said, I would like to congratulate Juggernaut on the official call-up to MBL. You officially made it to the big league, so congratulations on that. I'm really excited to see what you can do with that Dolphins organization. Looking at the magazine issues that we had released this week, we had 3 new magazines come out. Volume 5 had Giants MVP leading QB Teddy Bridgewater on the cover, so congratulations to Tom on that. Volume 6, Titans Marcus Mariota got the cover. That cover congratulated N-Train on joining the MBL 100 win club. So congratulations, N-Train, on your accomplishment. That's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations on reaching win number 100. Volume 7, we had our first ever throwback cover, as the Jaguars' Cecil Shorts got the cover in a farewell tribute to former Jags and Dolphins owner Tot. So congratulations, Tot, on getting your final Volume 7 MBL magazine cover right before you left. Congratulations to everybody who got a cover this week. Who's going to be the next owners to grace the MBL magazine cover? You'll have to tune in next week to find out. Contest this month. We have the March Madness contest that has officially started up, so be sure to fill out your bracket, get it submitted, and we'll be giving away an Xbox One Elite controller, a Barry Sanders jersey, $35 in cash, and $15 in cash to the top 4 in the MBL March Madness bracket contest. So head on over to ESPN, get your bracket filled out. This wouldn't be possible without all the great donations that everybody has, so keep them coming. Thank you to everybody that's donated. Special event for this week. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the EA Sports Twitch channel, Shopmaster takes over, talks about all things connected franchise mode. This week, officially, MBL is sponsoring a segment, so be sure to tune in this Tuesday to see it. It's going to be really great. This is a real huge step for the MBL community, as thousands of people, not just hundreds or not just tens, thousands of people will be viewing this live. It's a really great opportunity for us, and we're really ready to hit it big. That's going to wrap up things for the weekly review. We're going to head on over to the 2-team rundown. This 2-team rundown is going to be through week 13. This week, we're going to focus on 2 owners and teams. We're going to focus on Giants and owner Tom, as well as Cowboys and Mr. McGiblets. We're going to start off with the Giants. Giants are currently sitting at 10-2. They're in the driver's seat of the NFC East. They started off the season at 0-2. They've reeled off 10 in a row. They might be the hottest team in MBL right now headed into Week 14, so we'll see how that goes. Their only 2 losses so far this season came against the Falcons and the Titans. These 2 teams should easily make the playoffs. So, just 2 losses coming to playoff teams for the Giants really has them sitting in the driver's seat in the NFC right now. Offensively, they're currently the number 2 offensive team. They're currently being led by MVP frontrunner Teddy Bridgewater, who has also received the NFC Offensive Player of the Week honors 3 times this season. After he got off to a little bit of a rough start in the first few weeks, Teddy has definitely excelled for Tom. He's definitely justifying that insane 7-year, $160 million contract. So far, through 13 weeks, Teddy is carrying a 125.5 QBR and has completed 68% of his passes. He's got those 3,179 yards. He's currently on pace to shatter the MBL passing touchdown record, which is currently 40. That's held by Big Ben and Lip. They got that last season, so that record's not going to be very, very long held, as Teddy will definitely break that record this season. Second-year running back Asher Miller, definitely not getting enough recognition for this Giants team. He's currently just short of 700 yards. He's tallied 6 touchdowns on the season with only 1 fumble. All the focus has been on Teddy this year, so I think Miller has kind of crept up on us. He's slipped in under the radar. He's a really, really good running back, and he currently sits in 10th for total rushing yards on the season. Odell Beckham Teddy couldn't do it without him. He's having a great season. He's currently one of 3 players to eclipse 1,000 yards this season. He's currently sitting at 1,029 yards. He has his fair share of touchdowns, too, with 9. So that offense is really clicking. Teddy wouldn't be able to be where he is without Odell Beckham, that's for sure. Defensively, the Giants also rank as the 9th best defensive team. So they're not only the 2nd best offensive team, they're the 9th best defensive team in the league right now. They currently have 27 interceptions on the season, which is only 1 behind the league lead, which is currently held by the Chargers. Getting to know Tom a little better this week. Tom's 21 years old, and he's from Washington Township, New Jersey. He's currently attending college for computer information systems. Tom, much like Lip, is going to be the first person in his family to graduate from college, so everyone be sure to congratulate him on this great accomplishment. I think we really all forget sometimes what other members of the league are accomplishing outside of the gaming community, and it's great to see people really achieving their goals in the real world. Tom's a huge football fan, and that's where his passion truly lies. However, he also played baseball for most of his life, so he truly follows up on baseball, and those are his 2 sports that he really focuses on. Tom's currently working at a deli while he's in school. He's not quite sure what he wants to do once he graduates, but I'm sure he'll find something. Whatever he finds, he's going to be able to work hard and succeed at whatever he finds himself doing. Outside of NBL, Tom really enjoys sitting down and reading a good book. That's something that a lot of people don't do nowadays. You know, we have all this technology. So it's really nice to see that people still kind of take the time to sit down and relax and read a good book. As far as NBL goes, Tom believes that what makes this league so great is the community. He joined NBL in Season 3, and he would have never imagined all the friendships that he would have made that extend way beyond Madden. We have an interaction with each other that can't be matched by other leagues. As far as his team goes, Tom is a huge diehard Giants fan, so he loves how he's been able to extend the careers of former Giants players by adding them to the mix of young talent that he has acquired. His only complaint so far, no surprise here, is Teddy's contract. He really wanted Teddy, and he had to pay for him, but so far, I think we all see how it's paying off. Heading over to Dallas, we're going to visit the Cowboys and Mr. McGiblets. Cowboys are currently sitting at 5-7 and are 1 game out of 2nd place in the NFC East. The Cowboys have definitely struggled moving the ball this season as second-year QB Nick Jeffrey has fallen victim to the sophomore slump. He currently has a QBR of 72, and is only completing 56% of his passes. He's so far tallied 2,212 yards on the season. He's thrown only 15 touchdowns to 21 interceptions, though, and I think that's a big reason why this team has struggled to get more wins. Third-year running back Julius Burton has been a real bright spot for this offense. He's currently sitting at 166 carries for 705 yards and 4 touchdowns, which is right now good enough for 9th in the league in rushing yards. The wide receiving core of this team, not the best. Outside of Dez Bryant, who currently has 40 catches for 802 yards and 6 touchdowns, the wide receiver play has been really inconsistent, which really leads me to believe that wide receiver may be a big point of emphasis for the Cowboys and Mr. McGiblets this offseason. Defensively, middle linebacker Rolando McClain has definitely stood out above everybody else on his defense. He's 2nd on the team in tackles with 58, and he's 1st on the team in interceptions with 5. Without him, I definitely don't see this team having 5 wins at this point in the season. As a team, the defense as a whole has forced 21 turnovers, which right now is tied for 8th in the league. It's a 5-way tie, so there's a lot of people that are right there at that 21 turnover mark. I think this is definitely a big reason this team has won 5 games. You know, you have the defense that's stepped up. They're forcing turnovers. Unfortunately, the offense can't stop turning the ball over as well. I think if the offense can cut down on the turnovers, then this is going to be a really, really good team and really fun team to watch in coming years. One thing that really stands out to me is that the Cowboys are currently only converting on 42% of their 3rd down conversions. And when they get into the red zone, they only score 82% of the time. I think if the Cowboys can cut down on the turnovers, especially the red zone turnovers, and can raise their 3rd down conversion percentage, they're really going to be a team to watch this next season. Getting to know Mr. McGiblets a little bit more, Mr. McGiblets is 30 years old and was born and raised in Flint, Michigan. When he was 18, he joined the Army as a military police officer, but is currently a disabled veteran with the associated degree in graphic design. Before going any further, I really want to take the time on behalf of not only myself but NBL to thank you, Mr. McGiblets, for all of your military service. It's a real honor to serve our country, So thank you for all that, and thank you for all that you've done. Outside of MBL, McGiblets likes to hunt, fish, shoot guns, attend concerts, watch movies, really loves being a real man. McGiblets loves that MBL is as immersive as it is, and that we are able to go August to August without slowing down. He loves that every day it seems like some new promo or some new contest is hitting, and it's really great to see the league continue to grow even late in the year. He loves that people keep donating money and donating gear because this is what really makes this league great. We're not just a league where we come in and we play games. We're always constantly holding promos and contests outside of Madden, and it's really great to see people contributing their own money and their own gear to help this league grow. He's incredibly happy to be here and loves being a contributing cog in the crazy machine that is MBL. Thank you to Tom and Mr. McGiblets for sharing a little bit more about yourselves this week. Next week, we're going to head over to Philadelphia, and we're going to meet with October. We're also going to head over to Washington, D.C. to meet with Doughboys. So we're going to finish off the NFC East next week, and we'll see where that goes. Our final segment this week, which seems to be the biggest hit, is my weekly game picks. Being that we're nearing the end of the season, this is probably going to be the last weekly game pick segment. It's going to cover weeks 14, 15, and 16, and then we'll continue back up with it next season. Next week podcast, I'm definitely going to take a different focus. I'll make some picks for the playoffs, and I'll let you guys know who I think is going to take the Season 15 Super Bowl crown. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the picks. For Week 14, my contender game this week is Sonny's Bengals versus Backley's Broncos. Both of these teams are currently fighting for the last two wildcard spots in the AFC, and I think a loss by either here could really devastate their hopes for a playoff. In the end, I think that Backley's defense can slow down the Bengals' high-powered offense and allow the Broncos to take firm control over the 5 seed in the AFC. So far, I'm 1-1 when picking Backley, so a loss here could really make me lose some faith in picking him as a winner. Broncos win 34-28. My toilet bowl game for Week 14 is going to be my team, the Browns, versus Pricey's Ravens. Now, I picked Pricey to beat Delvar back in Week 11, and he let me down. I took our first matchup 30-24 in overtime, and I expect to pull out the win again. I'm really struggling on the season, but I think my team's starting to turn around a little bit. I keep looking at that sole win that the Ravens have, and I still can't believe it came against the NFC powerhouse Carolina Panthers and Wildcats. That team is just tearing through the league. They've lost one game all year, and the Ravens have won one game all year. So it's really kind of cool to see that their one win is the Wildcat and the Panthers' one loss. Pricey's currently on pace to lock up the number 1 pick, and I think that pace is going to keep up. Browns are going to win their second straight game, 28-13. My game of the week this week is Wildcats Panthers versus Lip Steelers. I think this could be a potential Super Bowl matchup, so I'm really interested to see how this first one goes. Hopefully they meet again in the playoffs. We'll see. Outside of Teddy, Big Ben and Cam have probably been the best, the second best and third best QBs this season, so it's going to be really excited to see them face off against each other. The Steelers' defense has really improved this offseason. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up with the offensive weapons that the Panthers have. I really think that C.J. Lawson is going to take that next step, and he's going to prove to be one of the elite wide receivers in NBL. I think Cam Newton is going to get picked off 2 times, but NBL Magazine Volume 4 cover boy C.J. Lawson is going to account for 2 touchdowns. As the Panthers squeak this one out of the Steelers, Panthers win 23-21. Heading over to Week 15, my contender game this week, Wildcats is in again with the Panthers, and one and only is in with the Falcons. Now, I picked this same exact matchup as my contender game in Week 9, as I predicted a 24-22 Panthers win. The final score ended up being 24-17 Panthers, so I was pretty close. I'm going with this game again because this might be the number 1 division rivalry this Madden. These two teams are always competing at the top, and their games are always really competitive. Both owners really know each other's playstyle very well, too. And with the Carolina Panthers sitting at 11-1, they could take the division for the first time with a win. A win will also give them a good shot at a first-round bye as they chase their first-ever Super Bowl title. This time, I really think the Falcons are gonna throw a wrench in the Panthers' plans, and I think Cam Newton's gonna have a rough game. He's gonna throw 4 interceptions, and I think the Falcons are gonna keep pace and make the last few weeks really, really interesting in the division. Falcons win 31-21. My toilet bowl game this week is going to be JY Movie Guys Jags versus Delvar's Jets. Coming into the season, the Jags team, led by their defense, looked like it was really ready to compete for a division crown and earn their first ever playoff appearance in NBL. Unfortunately, the defense has not been as good as advertised, and their poor record really reflects that. Delvar just continues to fall, and I wonder if the confidence is really starting to play a factor in the Jets' losses. The Jets are going to compete real hard, but I think the Jaguars are going to sneak out a win in a low-scoring game. Jags win 10-7. My game of the week for Week 15 is going to be Jay Moon's Patriots versus Bots Packers. Now, I think this is a little bit of a lopsided matchup. You have a really good team in the AFC and a really bad team in the NFC. I think this could potentially be a huge trap game for Jay Moon and the Patriots, though. No doubt he's definitely been one of the hottest teams in NBL going back to last season. He's hardly lost any games going back to the middle of last season. I find it really hard to see him losing this game, but I think it's a possibility. I think Bots has a history of playing really good teams, really close. So if the Patriots come into this game and they underestimate the Packers, we could be in for a really big upset. I don't think this upset is going to happen, though, and I think the Patriots are going to take this one relatively easily. Patriots win 27-10. Heading over to Week 16, my final week of my weekly picks for this year. Contender game is going to be Lip Steelers versus Princess Chiefs. Steelers are contending for a first-round bye as well as a second straight Super Bowl championship, while the Chiefs are getting a first-round bye last season and struggling to make the playoffs. This game could tell, whether or not Lip gets a first-round bye, or if it knocks Prince out of the playoffs altogether. I don't think this game's going to go anywhere different. I think this is going to determine, a first-round bye or somebody who doesn't make the playoffs. So I think this is a really, really key game for both teams. I think this game is going to put the Steelers definitely as the front runner in the AFC. I think they're going to keep pace for the first round bye. Steelers are going to win, high scoring game, 42-27. My toilet bowl game for this week is going to be Mr. McGiblet's Cowboys and October's Eagles. Now, I don't know what happened to the Eagles this season. They went from being a playoff caliber team to tied for last place in the NFC East. The good news for the Eagles this season is that they're tied with the Cowboys. The bad news for the Eagles is that the Cowboys are steadily improving week by week as the season progresses, and the Eagles seem to kind of be regressing as the season progresses. So we'll kind of see how that turns out and see how that ends. I think this is going to be a battle to the end. It's going to head to overtime, and the Eagles are going to get back on track with this game. I think the Cowboys compete and show that they're no pushover, though. Eagles win 27-21. My final game of the week is going to be Players Cardinals versus Bob's Bears. This game really intrigues me because you have Bob, who really enjoys competitive banter, and you have an old school player who lets his game do the talking. I think that old school is going to prevail in this game, and talkative Bob is going to turn into silent Bob real quick. Cardinals win 21-14. That's going to wrap up this week's game picks. Before we go, I want to remind everybody to get your brackets filled out, as we're definitely giving away some great prizes this March Madness season. You don't want to be left out, and you always want to have a chance to win some of these great prizes. Thank you to everybody who's made these incredible donations. It really makes things like this possible. Also, please remember to tune in to the EA Sports Twitch channel this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, as NBL will be sponsoring a segment in front of thousands of viewers. On behalf of NBL, I want to extend a huge thank you and shout out to Shotmaster for giving us this incredible opportunity to showcase our talents on the big stage. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. This is going to wrap up episode 3 of TFA's 2-point conversion. As always, I'm your host, TFA. Have a great week, NBL.